Hey guys, my name is Patricia. I am doing chapter 19 presentation, and I want to give you guys a heads up. I have a speech impairment, so if you can't understand me, that's why. I will try my best and do a great presentation. So assignment I chose was, you are the marketing manager responsible for a newly launched hospitality or travel service. What steps will you follow in arriving at initial price structures for this operation? What specific factors will you consider? And what would your prices be, and how will you justify them to the senior manager? My objectives for this is competition, cost of other hotels, customers, planning pricing approaches, and creating the best price approach. So I thought about competition. One thing I thought about was, I forgot the most important part. I am talking mostly about hotels for this question, so mostly this presentation is focused around hotel. I thought about what the competitors do. Reason I say that is because a lot of people do different things and to make their hotels successful, and I want to see what I can do to make mine successful. So that's what I like to see about, like, how prices ranges for each hotel and each room. Make things look better for you. One thing about that is that I want to make sure my hotel runs right, and I want to see what my competition does that can make them worse. So, like, is it their bathroom? Is it their staffing? Is it their price? So that's one thing I thought about, is like, make sure that those things go right so that guests can come and pay for my hotel and not like for another one. Another one is discounts. Like, some places do discounts for certain people, some don't, and I want to see what I can do to give those discounts to people that hotels do. Promotions, that's one thing. If you want to promote what you're selling, it's like you want to make sure that you promote it to everyone, and that's just one aspect of it. And then, of course, advertisement. If you don't have no advertisement, then people won't know about it, and that's one thing I was looking to see what competition does about advertisement. Cost of other hotels. One thing about that is you don't want to do like too much of cost of hotel, like too much of something, or like too little. I thought about different factors, just like, should it be same price? Should it be different? What should do? I can also see like room rates go up and down, depends on like, mostly how it ranges, and also how each room is standing. You don't want to like pay too much for one room or too much for another. Another thing is about guests. Like, so many guests are really important for anything. It's just like, if you don't have anyone, then you don't succeed, and you want to make sure every guest is satisfied, and that's what I want to see, like, how guests are with it. Of course, another factor is, like, popularity. Is that hotel popular or not? Like, when I ask a friend of mine, say, hey, do you go to this hotel? Well, and or heard of it, and they'll probably like, yeah, I have heard of it, yeah, I'm not. So it's just, like, if it's popular, then that would mean that it's a good price range and all. If it's not, then that means that's not good. Reviews. That's another factor I thought about. A lot of people can say it's a great hotel, or it can say it's bad. And that's one thing to look into, is like, even if it's like a good price, it could be the worst hotel to stay at. Another factor I thought about was weather. Sorry, because it varies, like, for everything. Like, it could be busy during one, blurry weather, where the other it couldn't. One example I have to say is that, I love Disney. I even used to work at Disney. And I remember, like, when Hurricane Matthew hit, I heard a lot of people were staying at Disney resorts because of Hurricane Matthew. They wanted to be in a safe place. So that was, like, one thing that they did, was go into a hotel and stay there. Of course, they didn't want to pay too much, but they didn't want to pay stay home. So that's one thing to look into. Customers. That's the most important one, I have to say. Of course, the most important factor is cost, because if you don't want to spend a lot. Like, it depends on the customer itself. Because some people want to spend a lot, some don't, and it just depends on them. But they could stay one night, they could stay periods, and that's just what customers want to know. Location. A lot of people want to know where it is, want to know if it's safe, if it's close to where they need to go, and that's, of course, the most important thing about it. That's a great factor. Another one is rooms. Like, you don't want to be clumped up in a small room for a big family, or a small family in a big room. That's something you have to do. Another one is occupancy. I can say that, like, I actually used to work at a hotel. Some people don't like big crowds, some people do. It depends on what's going on at the hotel. Like, I used to work at All-Star Sports at Disney, and there were a lot of cheerleaders there, and they loved it, but, like, people that weren't part of that weren't that great about, like, it being full, and that actually had happened when I was down there. So, like I said, it just depends on each customer. Planning price approaches. So I thought about, like, how can I go with it? Like, one of them would be setting a price objective. Profit levels is a big factor about it. It's because, like, you want to make enough money to be able to run the hotel and be able to pay for the food, pay for the electricity, so many things that you want to make it. Target pricing, that's a definite big. You don't want to, like, oversell it, but you don't want to undersell it. Sales oriented, you also want to make sure that you get what you need and get everything done with the money, and that you don't even go in bankrupt. So that's one thing to look into. Selecting pricing approaches, like, you want to make sure that you're competitive and that, like, you can be competitive, you can try and do things. You all can follow later, which, follow what other hotels do, or be initiative and be able to, like, have a settled pricing for hotels and be able to do it. Measure and evaluate, pricing success. One thing about this is, like, there are so many ways to put it, but some I thought about were average daily rate, which is specific periods versus revenue paid, which means that, like, if a customer is staying as long or then staying like for a day or two, I'll give it C. Of course, it's like, it depends on how many guests are staying in that hotel. You don't want, like, overbook, of course. Market penetration index, what I'll give it C compared to competitive state, meaning, like, you want to make sure that they are the same, like, for how much you have it at your hotel or anywhere, and versus, like, the whole state. And then average rate index, which what you make daily than what others do. So I came up with a few ways to create the best price. The first one would be price giving, which is where you can, like, set a high price and, like, higher than your actual competition, and then all of the competition actually raise their prices to the same price as you, and then you actually can lower your price, and that's, like, so that guests can get the same experience but cheaper than other hotels. Sorry, cough. Second one would be versioning. Offer different tiers, like what's good, great, and best. And mostly you try to get them to the best, but also you want to make sure they get what they pay for. And then the third one would be sketch pricing, which is high, medium, and low pricing, meaning, like, you want to tell them the low, the medium, and high, but you at the same time want to try to get them to the medium price, because that's the best one than the high price or low price, even though lower is cheaper. I really hope you enjoyed my presentation. Here are 3 sources that I use for this presentation, and have a good one.